try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. That hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. G. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You end up dead. The West Coast, they leave that spray. And now you got calling your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast.
It was once just an idea until breaking ground in November of 2016, and now here it is in all its glory. Spectacular SoFi Stadium here in metropolitan Los Angeles. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Chargers. Taken in at the 3. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's second down. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. They're going to use it line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down. On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. This is taken at the 18. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's second down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Lawrence. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he's going to be out up around the 35-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. Their tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On 1st down, Lawrence. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That's good for 28 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here. These last few plays, they have moved right down the field. And just like that, they can be set up with a first and goal.
Again, it's Lawrence. That's complete right around the 8. Touchdown, Chargers. DK Metcalf with career touchdown number 60. And the Chargers are on the board first here this afternoon. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they had lost 2 in a row prior to getting the open week last weekend, so potentially a chance for them to get away for a bit, keel up, and come back strong.
That's what the hope is anyway, because you're going to find out now with your team, are you still focused on being the best you can be for the rest of the season with the things going the way they have earlier this year?
Throw out wide to Walker. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Walker now on 1st and 10. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now here's a throw that's complete. 2 yards on the pickup there. And now it's 3rd and 3. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now to the ground, here's Walker. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. That was one that I kind of saw coming, Charge. Had a free safety just hanging back there over the middle, waiting, and he saw that ball go in the air, and he jumped on it.
And I don't know why the quarterback didn't see that. That was just your standard cover 3, which means the free safety in the middle of the field, the 2 corners, and they divide the field in thirds. But when you have a free safety with range, like a good center fielder, he can go from side to side and make plays on the football as he did there.
A big play there on the catch and run. 33 yards. What about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has 0 answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change the...
And he will get in across the jump for a Chargers touchdown. Trevor Lawrence, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that Plague did on the last one.
On second down, it's Walker. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. This complete to Lockett. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. This will be taken at the 10. He almost outkicked the coverage. A 57-yard punt, 15 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
On 2nd down, Eckler. Room here to run. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 35. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They go play action with Lawrence. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. The Chargers at 5-1 here in this early part of the season. They're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
He'll get this to Eckler. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 13-yard line. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
This one was all about clearing space for this play to work because he's got to leak out of the backfield to his right, then angle his way up the field, and a really pretty throw to put it on him and create the big play downfield.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. There he goes, right side. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It's Preston Smith. He gets the sack there. The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Looking to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And the Chargers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
He's got him in. Complete. Touchdown, LA. So 20-0 now pending the extra point, and this place is jumping.
Yeah, you can feel it, can't you? You can also see it. You're seeing people in the stands now, excited, happy, high-fiving each other, and expecting this score to continue to mount.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 45-yard line.
They'll set up a throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get
and for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions.
And this is caught. Touchdown. DK Metcalf with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Chargers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And now off to the races down the right side. He will take this all the way. Touchdown Chargers.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now the touchback's coming back to the 25 instead of the 20. When guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
Bearcats lead at the 21-yard line. The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seattle.
Well, only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
This time, the extra point up and good. And that'll cut the lead down now to 22.
Seahawks 13.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. He's at the 40, the 20, and he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Chargers.
Again, I get fired up. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the same game. This is fun to watch.
Yeah, we call a lot of games in a lot of different places. Sometimes it seems like we do it simultaneously, but we rarely get to see this. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff.
Bearcats lead at the 24-yard line. The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Chargers are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
Well, that is interception number 4 for him, Charles. 4 here in the first half alone, and they're already trailing by 4 possessions.
Makes me wonder, partner, do they just not have any confidence at all in the backup, or do they just have that much confidence in him? Able to throw 4 picks already, they're certainly hoping that he can turn things around and quickly.
Now Lawrence on first down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Traditionally, as a defense, your number 1 job, stop the run. But in today's football, it's impacted the opposing quarterback. Make him uncomfortable. And so far, they've not been able to do that.
Not at all. He's been really comfortable in the pocket. 3 touchdown passes already.
So that could be an important first sack if they do want to turn things around.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. He's got a man, complete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. Here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Charger drive about to get going. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for him. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Seahawks are going to have it here just past the 25.
Take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And my goodness, another interception. And the Chargers will take over here just shy of the 30. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has.
Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. Walker will take this into the end zone for a Seahawk touchdown. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up 1st and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they're able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff. But, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Charger drive about to get going. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. A quick throw, but incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Charger drive about to get going. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
Give them credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stop the run, and then executed.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Lawrence will throw. That's into the hands of Eckler. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Now Lawrence. Going up top. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Partner, they've been aggressive, airing it out all game long, and no better evidence than those last 2 snaps. They weren't going to beat this coverage, though, 2 plays in a row, and that one falls incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Lawrence now to throw after that last run. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they'll get the conversion on a gain of 14.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive...
Lawrence hit and the ball is free. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Hey, exit.
And they'll try and throw forward with Lawrence. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles, if they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback. And now here's another interception. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be...
He's got a man, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. It's a gain of 34.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lucas. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. He'll look to throw. And this one too low.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Lawrence. And this is caught. He's got a touchdown. DK Metcalf. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Chargers 56. Seahawks 26.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They're going to look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown, and teams that looked like they had a victory, all of a sudden were going home with a loss.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Joe Lutz set to kick off.
Lutz now to kick this one away. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there. And trailing big here in this 4th quarter.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Here's Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got him in. Complete. Touchdown. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Charger drive about to get going. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure is good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
He'll take it inside the 25.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now,
and now here is another interception. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it. And the Seahawks will take over here at their own 14-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with
he put it on the carpet, a fumble, and picked up by the Chargers. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Lawrence's throw caught here by Metcalf. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. But they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw. They're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way, and plays like that.
And it'll be intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late. And that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came up with the interception. Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Looking left side, and it's complete. He's at the 30. 10, 5. And he goes diving to get as much as he can, following a big gain. A nice little cherry on top there at the end. A big play there on the catch and run. 87 yards. Here's Walker. And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Ken Walker with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will shave a bit off the lead as it's down to a 23-point game. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Still going. And it'll be an excellent return as he's all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
Look, I know that all eyes and all credit should be on the guys that brought the ball back a long way, but I'm just wondering about the guys covering and their special teams coach. They've got to be looking at each other and saying, at what point are we going to find a way to stop these guys?
And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a first down.
Chargers, first down. First and 10 over the yard line.
Now Lawrence under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Here's Lawrence to throw. And this one's incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
They're going on 4th down. Lawrence. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. From 17 yards out. And the Chargers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Lutz good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Oh, wide open, complete. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will shave a bit off the lead as it's down to a 23-point game. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They go play action now. Lawrence. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense can crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
9 yards, and that leaves them just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Lawrence on 3rd down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And he's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. DK Metcalf, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Chargers up the lead to 4 scores now here in this fourth quarter. Wants to try to add the PAT. And the lead is now an even 30.
Makes the score. Chargers 77. Seahawks 47. Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind?
He's got a man, complete. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Oh, and now they're going to fake it.
The conversion is
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them
I was
to do
going to
that?
ask you, maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film to try something from the 15 on the PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there.
And there he goes again. And they're going to finish this one off strong. It's a return touchdown to add on to their lead in the final stages. Lutz with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Seahawks take over first and 10.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and then try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead is down to 24.
Makes the score. Chargers 84. Seahawks 60.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. He's past the 30. He will score. Touchdown, Chargers.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because as you...
And that's caught inside the 35. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Fake it. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When you'd line up, go ahead and, oh, there's a fake, and he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward, it's just not there.
So risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Well, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to old reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
The Charger drive about to get going. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
As I was watching the play unfold, my eyes immediately went to the referee because I wanted to see, was he going to put those 2 hands over his head and that universal signal for a safety? But it's at the 1-yard line. You know you're playing with fire when you get sacked that close to the goal line.
Buying time to his left. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Oh, he's been fun to watch in this when he's made the correct reads all game long and helped stake his team a huge lead. Running, passing, he's made all the right decisions. But that wasn't the right read on that one. It falls incomplete.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. Lawrence going to keep it again. And they work this out past the 25. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire